today.
Amen.
Amen.
If you have your Bibles, turn to 1 Kings 17. We'll look at verse 8. The title of my message is Help in a Time of Need. And we'll look at verse 8. It says, And the word of the Lord came unto him, saying, Arise, get thee to Zarephath, which belongeth to Zidon, and dwell there. Behold, I have commanded a widow woman there to sustain me. So he arose and went to Zarephath, and when he came to the gated city, behold, the widow woman was gathering of sticks. And he called to her and said, Fetch me, I pray thee, a little water in a vessel, that I may drink. And as she was going to fetch it, he called her and said, Bring me, I pray thee, a morsel of bread in thine hand. And she said, As the Lord thy God liveth, have not a cake, but a handful of meal in a barrel, and a little oil in a cruse. And behold, I am gathering 2 sticks, that I may go in and dress it for me and my son, that we may eat it and die. First we see that the Lord commanded Elijah to go to Zarephath. We see when the Lord told Elijah to go to Zarephath that he obeyed, and when he got there, he met this widow lady there, and she was out gathering up sticks for her and her family to prepare some food for them. And Elijah asked her for some water, and when Elijah asked her for some water, she went and got it for him. And he also asked for some food, but this widow woman, she didn't have any food for him, and we see that her situation of this was that she didn't have much food for her and her family, and that her and her family, if they didn't get any food that in the next couple of days, that they would die. We can see that this widow lady, that she had to worry a little bit about providing some food for her and her family, and just trying to figure out something to do after they ran out. And we can see also that in our lives that we shouldn't worry about different aspects of situations or trials in our lives. That we just need to trust the Lord. And we can see in the Bible that where it talks about trusting the Lord and not worrying about different stuff. We see also in Matthew 6:25 and 26 it says, Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what you shall eat or what you shall drink, nor yet for your body what you shall put on. Is not the life more than meat, and the body than raiment? Behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are you not much better than they? We see that if we just ask the Lord to help us through these different trials in our lives, that He will provide for us. Because if He even provides for all the birds in the world, that He'll also provide for us too. Amen. Secondly, we see the Lord's plan to supply their needs. Let's look at verse 13. It says, And Elijah said unto her, Fear not, go and do as thou hast said, but make me thereof a little cake first, and bring it unto me, and after make for thee and for thy son. For thus saith the Lord God of Israel, The barrel of milk shall not waste, neither shall the cruse of oil fail, until the day that the Lord sendeth rain upon the earth. And she went and did according to the saying of Elijah, and she and he and her house did eat many days. And the barrel of meal wasted not, neither did the cruse of oil fail, according to the word of the Lord which He spake by Elijah. We see that this widow lady kind of had like a challenge from the Lord. The Lord was trying to see if she would trust Him for providing the food for her and her family, and to get her through this trial in her life of providing for her and her family. And we see since she had the courage to trust the Lord, that the Lord provided for her and her family, and they had food for many more days. And her family and them had food during this trials throughout their life. Then we see thirdly, the Lord raises the widow's son. Let's verses 17. It says, And it came to pass after these things, that the son of the woman, the mistress of the house, fell sick, and his sickness was so sore that there was no breath left in him. And she said unto Elijah, What have I to do with thee, O thou man of God? Art thou come unto me to call my sin to the remembrance, and to slay my son? And he said unto her, Give me thy son. And he took him out of her bosom, and carried him into a loft where he abode, and laid him upon his own bed. And he cried unto the Lord, and said, O Lord my God, hast thou also brought evil upon the widow with whom I sojourned by slaying her son? And he stretched himself upon the child 3 times, and cried unto the Lord, and said, O Lord my God, I pray thee, let this child's soul come into him again. And the Lord heard the voice of Elijah, and the soul of the child came into him again, and he revived. And we see here that this widow woman's son became sick. And when he became sick, he came to the point where he didn't even have any breath left in him. When this son became sick, this widow lady thought it might have been because of past sin or something that she had done in her life. But maybe the Lord was just putting another trial in her life to see if she would stay faithful to him and trust him through these different trials in our life. We can see that also, that when Elijah went and took this boy up to his room, that he called unto the Lord and asked him to heal this boy. And when he called to the Lord heard his prayer and healed him. But, sometimes the best way to deal with trials or some situations in our life and to get through them is just pray and ask the Lord to help you through the situation that you have in your life. And if you just ask him and pray, and also ask other people to pray for you too, and just ask the Lord to help you through the trial in your life, that he will. Then in verse 23 it says, And Elijah took the child and brought him down unto the chamber and to the house, and delivered him unto his mother. And Elijah said, See, thy son liveth. And the woman said to Elijah, Now by this I know that thou art a man of God, and that the word of the Lord in thy mouth is true. You see, since the Lord had helped this widow lady through the trials in her life, that she trusted the Lord through this, and she also believed that who Elijah said he was, a prophet of the Lord, that he really was. And she also believed that the Lord, that he was truth. And since the Lord helped her, she believed all this stuff. Since, as we can see in this story, we see that we can't do everything on our own, and that we need the Lord in our lives to help us get through different trials or situations that we have. And if you just ask him to help you through this, that he will help you and help you get through the trials that you will have.